Hey you guys, it's Chrissy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I just want to talk about 401k loans and is it a good idea to take one? Personally, I've taken out a few 401k loans in my life. The thing about 401k loans is when you first hear about them, it sounds like a great idea. You hear that, you're paying yourself interest, you're borrowing from yourself and you're paying yourself back with interest, and it sounds amazing, it sounds great. The thing I didn't think about was how much money I would be losing out on by pulling money out of my 401k. Something that I just completely didn't think about because I didn't do any research. I just heard that you can take out a 401k loan and it's great because you're borrowing from yourself and you're paying yourself back money with interest. But by doing that, you are losing out on your return. You're losing out on anything that would have been in an investment. It's pulled out and you're no longer making money on those investments anymore. Because of that, you're losing out on so much money. And you might think it's not a lot of money, it won't be a big deal, but it's actually a lot of money. If you go look at any resource available that you can plug in your 401k balance and it'll project for you how much that would be in retirement, you will see what that money will grow to. And many calculators do this without even you adding an extra dime to that fund. So just think about it. If you have like $30,000 in your 401k and you are considering pulling out half, because usually you're allowed to pull out half to take a 401k loan. If you pulled out half, it's going to take you time to pay that money back. So that other 15 grand that you pulled out is no longer making money for you. If you plug this in and you see that $30,000 will grow to this specific amount, and I don't know what that amount is off the top of my head, but I can, maybe link something in the video maybe to show you. That's a lot of money, and it's something that you don't really think about when you're taking out a 401k loan. And it's something I didn't really think about when I took out a 401k loan. I was just like, you know what? I have all this credit card debt. Let me pull out a 401k loan, pay it off, which was very stupid of me. I'm not even gonna lie. I just wasn't educated enough to make that decision. But I pulled it out to pay off credit card. And I was just thinking, well, this will lower my monthly payment, and I'll be paying myself back. I'll be borrowing from myself. This interest is so high on my credit card, so I'll be paying a lower interest rate. That's all the stuff that went through my head. And it made sense in my head. But that's why it's important to, do some research before you do things like that. Before you make financial decisions, do some research. And don't just take it from me. There's tons of people out there doing this exact thing that I'm doing. And if someone tells you that taking a 401k loan is a good idea, then you might not want to take advice from that person because it's not really a good idea. And you will be losing out on so much money. If you cannot make ends meet, like if you are borderline like about to file bankruptcy, or your house is going to go into foreclosure or anything like that, then taking a 401k loan might be a good idea. But I would say that would be your last resort option. If you were about to lose your home and you couldn't get any help, you would have to be in a very unfortunate situation for that to happen. And I'm sorry if you are in that situation right now, but there's a way out of this. It's so easy to just get into debt. Getting out of debt is the hard part. You can get into debt with a sign of a paper, with a swipe of a card. It's super easy. But getting out of debt, it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of planning, it takes a lot of work. But there is a way out. You just have to see it and you have to believe that it can happen. It's a lot about your mindset too. All in this to say, I'm not trying to shame you if you've taken out a 401k loan. I've done it in the past. I've done it a few times. I did it one time to pay off high interest credit card debt. I did it another time to use as a down payment on our house. And while it sounds like a great idea at the time, it's really just not a great idea. I know there are situations where, they say you can pull out money. One is the down payment for a house without taking a penalty. But instead of pulling the money out, I took the 401k loan. So that was that. And I'm not gonna say it was like the worst decision in the world because our property value is really good. You're still losing out on all that time. You're still missing out on having that money in your 401k and those dollar bills working for you and making you money and adding to your 401k balance. And if you think, it's not a lot of money, go back to one of my videos. I did, will $24 a month make you a millionaire? And I'll link it above so you can see. It actually does, and I'm just gonna cut it to the chase. You don't even have to watch the video, but if you want to, if you're curious to watch the video and why I did it, I'll link it above. But $24 a month can make you a millionaire in retirement. And you might not think that's even possible, but it is. So if you think about it, there's so many people who just think, it's only $24, it's not a lot of money. It's only $24 if you're just squandering it every single month. But if you're putting it into a retirement plan or putting it into something, an investment that'll make you money, that adds up over time. There's beauty in compound interest, and it's amazing. It's mind-blowing. If you have the right vehicle to put that money in, then it's gonna be great. The right vehicle, and I don't mean cars. I'm not saying those kind of vehicles. I'm saying like 401k, Roth IRAs. Those are the type of vehicles I'm talking about, So putting your money into those type of vehicles, that's where money starts to work for you. And that's where you can start to see the compound interest building up. And that's the best option. That's what you want to see, is your money growing, your money working for you. I started my career really young, and I straight out of high school, I was already working for a good company, and I decided to just, skip college and do that. And I had the opportunity to start saving at a very young age, and I'm so grateful for that. And I remember, working on a financial calculator. I remember plugging in information and to see how much money I would need in retirement when I was really young. Like, I started that really young, and it said I would have to save this much a month. So I started doing that, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to do that. This is where talking to kids about money is important too. You want them to learn how to start investing at a young age, how to make their money work for them. It's not on like the top list of subjects to talk about usually with your kids, like you should put money into your 401k, you should put money into a Roth IRA. Usually that's not coming up at the dinner table. Those type of conversations, they don't happen. So you have to make them happen. Talk to your children about money. Talk to your children about when they start saving and investing when they're younger, they won't have to save as much in the future. I mean, they can, but if you look at someone who never saved from 20 years of age to 30 years of age, and then they start saving in their 30s, they have to save a lot more money than they would have if they started in their 20s. So that's just something to look at. That's something to think about, something to bring up at the dinner table, talk about. Some of us never had those conversations, but they're really important to have. If you just want to rely on Social Security for retirement, then you can go to the Social Security website. You can see how much money they're going to give you in retirement. And if you think that's enough, then that's great. If you think that's enough to live on, that's great. But do you really trust that it's going to be there? Do you really trust that that's going to be the amount that they're going to give you? I mean, it could be, but you never know. But I would like something that I could pass on if I were to pass away. You can't pass down Social Security benefits. And pensions are great, pensions are great, but pensions eventually die, like, yes, your dependents will get them usually, or your surviving spouse will get them, but eventually they will cease to exist. And all that money that you paid into Social Security, it just goes away. Take for instance, my mom, she passed away. She was a hard worker. She worked, most of her adult life. When she passed away, there was no one who relied on her income when she passed away. So her Social Security benefits, they died with her. That's not the only retirement planning that you should have. It should be a supplement. It's not meant to cover your full retirement, so you have to plan for this. If your company offers a pension, that's awesome, but you should also start saving for yourself. You should also have a Roth IRA. If you have a pension, that's great, that's awesome. I believe that pensions are amazing, but maybe you want to invest in a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA, you put after-tax dollars in it, and it grows tax-free. So when you are ready to retire, you pull that money out, and you don't have to pay taxes on it. Imagine having that extra money as a supplemental income to You know, do things you want to do in retirement, because, you know, maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to do something amazing, but you don't have enough money from your pension or enough money from Social Security to make it happen. So maybe you want to do something like travel, or you want to do something to just, I don't know, whatever it is you can think of that you want to do, but there's not enough money coming in from your pension or Social Security. Then you need another vehicle. You need something else where you can pull money from to make it happen. I kind of digressed in this video, but yeah, if you are considering taking out a 401k loan, I would say do anything else possible that you don't have to do that. If you're taking it out to pay credit card debt, especially, I would say just follow the debt snowball. The debt snowball works, you guys. Like, list your debt smallest to largest and tackle that small one first. Leave it the way it is. Don't consolidate it, because it makes it seem so insurmountable that you cannot tackle it. You know, do it in bite-sized pieces and just pay off that small debt first. And then when that's paid off, you can take that payment that you were making towards that small credit card and put it to the next one. And then same thing, put it to the next one. You can do that. And it works, because I've done it and it works so much better than taking out a 401k loan. Because when you do that, you think you've done something. You think you've made a dent in your debt, in your financial life, but you never changed your behavior. You never changed the fact that you had so much credit card debt to begin with. You never treated the root cause of what caused you to go into that much debt in the first place. You know, you have to work that behavior that you're not going to use credit cards that way ever again. When you use credit cards, it shouldn't be to pay for things with money you don't have. The only way you should use credit cards is if you're using it and paying it off in the same month, like using it and paying it off, using it and paying it off. You're not using it for things that you don't have the money for. You know, that's what gets you into credit card debt. And if you don't have a financial plan, if you're not budgeting monthly, then it's so easy to find yourself in credit card debt. You know, if you're just buying on impulse, you know, you go to a store and you're like, oh, this TV looks great, you know, I want this, and then you're charging it and you don't have that money to cover it, then yeah, that's just gonna put you into debt. And you might have the best intentions of saying, oh, I'm just gonna pay it off, you know, in the next couple months, but then your car breaks down. And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you know, it's just going to snowball in the opposite direction. You know, your car is going to break down, your heater's going to go out. It's so easy to say, oh, I'm just doing this now and it's not going to affect me, you know, but you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what type of emergencies will come up. And that's why it's also important to have an emergency fund. Having an emergency fund is what will keep you out of debt when emergencies happen. And it's okay to want things. It's okay to want that new TV, as long as you're paying cash for it, as long as you have the money for it. So see how much it costs and then make a plan to get there. Save up that money to get there, you know. But like taking out a 401k loan, you feel like you've accomplished something big because you're paying off all these credit cards, but you're just moving it. You know, you're really just moving that to somewhere else, and it's not changing the behavior that you're experiencing every single day. And I know this because I lived it. This is how I lived, you guys. Like, we would go and Black Friday, be like, oh, this TV is such a great deal, let's put it on a credit card. No, that's not how you should do it. You know, like we've done it. I've been there. I was not thinking straight. You know, like I wasn't educated enough, and that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I don't want you to make the same mistakes, and I want to help you. If you're experiencing the same pain that I was experiencing, feeling like you're drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, I want you to work to get out of that, because you can. It's possible. Like, you know, you don't have to live like this. You don't have to. You know, if you make a plan and you become a good steward of your money, it's amazing what can be done. It's amazing. And I hope, you know, this video got you pumped up. I hope it got you encouraged, and I hope you go watch some of my other videos and subscribe to my channel, and just put a comment below if you were considering taking out a 401k loan and this changed your mind, because that would mean so much to me to know that I've helped someone. I just want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.